So we are going to get this one underway. Enough of this nonsense about all this frou-fra outside. This is Donors by Heart. Scriff, Wisteria, Malachor. One of the best teams in EU. Top 3 for sure.
Oh,
versus
Scriff in
Team
the Vanguard,
Force.
man. So lovely.
Dude, Solo. He shouts like a pro.
Wow,
and
that is
just
crazy
scary.
skin. Oh,
The female skin?
Yeah.
The scream is a little bit scary, not gonna lie. But you just got this like "Urgh" for a female, and you're like, what? What went on there? So, anyways, in Ors on the cold team, Hafu, Megazero, and Iverson, U.S. players. Scriff, Malachor, and Wisteria, European. And so we're gonna see how this goes. Ravener and an Astronomer. We haven't seen any of those throughout the tournament yet. Actually, I haven't seen any Vanguards as well. Scriff is like notorious for being such a ridiculously good Vanguard. And in fact, he has a couple token key phrases to his name, but we're going to get beyond that right now as he just gets 3 M1 stacks for 22 damage onto Mega Zero. That is no bueno, senor. Good sleep right there after that Mason cap, and they are not going to hit any of those barriers on Wisteria, not going to, take that 1.2 second stun. Mega Zero could be in a lot of trouble. Here it is. Scriff could be lining up for a heroic charge. He's just backing up. Boom, body blocked. Hafu just standing in the way. Very nice team play right there. I'm definitely sure that they coordinated that because Mega Zero would have been in a ton of trouble otherwise. Missed Moonstone. Here it is. Malachor, 50% HP. I'm clicking my mouse rapidly because I'm just so intense, focused on this match right here. Malachor going to space away. Scriff getting that reduced damage onto Hafu. Nice in cap right there by Wisteria. Malachor out on the fight. Scriff almost has another heroic charge. Here it is. Mega Zero could be in bad shape. Heroic charge completely script. Oh my goodness, he hit the wall with that. That is no good. Goo is going to come down. Malachor has no way to get on out of that. You have a Ravener also beating you with the maces in the face. And oh man, Astral Beam hitting multiple targets. I'm not sure how Malachor is still alive. That Battle Shout must have had something to do with it, and they are holding on by a sliver, but Iverson is going to go down. Hafu not able to get that M1 off onto Malachor, just barely alive. Oh my goodness, this is insane how he's survived, and the team support from Wisteria and Scriff is, but one more hit, can he get it? No, not going to happen. Not going to get that solar charge, and wow, look at that. They, other than the temporary HP, are just on such a sliver of health. Not exactly sure how they're going to pull this one out. Malachor going to space away. Looks like Hafu is the only one that can bring any kind of salvation for this team. EX space goes out, and Mega Zero is still surviving some odd how. He doesn't have any energy for anything, and it looks like the curtains could come to a close pretty soon. Hafu now has the ultimate. Will he use it before the weakened debuff is gone? No, he's going to use it, but absolutely get dominated. That's a spell lock. Wisteria coming in with some damage, finishing him off beforehand, and whoo, I am out of breath, sir. How did you think that game went?
take a strawberry, man. Take a strawberry.
Take a strawberry? I'm taking a swig of beer, man. A strawberry is not going to do anything.
1100 damage coming out of Script, though. Like, 1 hit point. He was sitting on 1 hit point, and they just could not land that shot. And then he just jumps and squashes Iverson right to the floor. And wow, intense stuff. Even just the 2v3 did not go really as either of them really saw planned, because that just took forever. We saw the creeping fog come in from the sides. Good stuff. But 1-0 right now. Donors by Heart taking it over Ors, and a little bit of screen tearing going on, at least on my end. But Wisteria, what are you doing, buddy? You're going to have to get out of that. Iverson does not want you to at all. He's going to keep you up against the wall. And wow, a big mace to the middle of his stomach just collapses onto the floor. And now Iverson, Mega Zero, Hafu definitely going to be taking a little bit of an advantage here in this round. Malachor and Scriff, however, they're not going to go quietly into the night with the onto Mega Zero. Oh, so close. He's surviving. Hafu throwing out those heals. You see him just trying his best, but now Scriff already back up to half of his energy. We're going to see some more goodness come out of him, but he does not want to leave up on Mega Zero. Iverson, of course, not letting up on Malachor either. He's going to have to get back into the match here as Malachor just misses that in cap, but Iverson is now back. Scriff taking damage. Bam! Another shot to the back. Iverson doing some good work here. Oh, great in cap. It lines that kill up, and Mega Zero coming out on top of that match. Look at the damage. 687 on Iverson. This is why you do not let a Ravener run loose.
No, by no means should you ever let that happen. Like you said, 687 damage. Now, if we go back and take a look at it, Spike Strike, the M1. Every third hit has a little mini stun attached to it. It's not random. It is actually every third hit, and you can see it graphic-wise. as well. And oh, look at that. Oh man, too bad that CC was actually blocked. Iverson didn't think that Moonstone was going to hit. But here we go. You know, he gets that in cap, he gets that little stun off, and you know, Scriff is taking a little bit of damage at that point. They're just building up energy, then going to go on to Malachor. They know that they need to burst Herald, and it's going to be really hard if they just try and focus him right off the bat. And we're going to have an Earth Crush right there. Wisteria is the target of choice. I don't think he has anything to get out. No, he has Woj right now. Scriff being CC'd with that Moonstone. And look at that. He got in-capped from the Thunder Strike, punted back with the Crude Strike. And this could be a deadly combo coming up in 1 second. Malachor gonna have the temporal lockdown on 1, 2 targets. Heroic charge, 65 damage. Wisteria comes in afterwards. Absolutely monstrous. And that is what this composition is all about. It's about surviving and waiting for that huge get up with the temporal lockdown and the heroic charge comboing. 65 damage, does a little bit of an end cap. You can get that another M1 off. You are looking at what, 70 some odd damage uninterrupted, as well as you have that huge debuff from the temporal lockdown. 33% more damage is going to be done to you. Oh, so nasty. And Scriff right there, that is why he is undisputed master of Vanguard. Well, Vanguard? Well, that sounds so manly. Vanguardess. We'll say Vanguardess now that he has the female skin on.
Vanguardess. Yeah, great performance right there coming out of Donors by Heart, taking out Ors, but yeah, it's just a huge combo going down on top of Mega Zero that round. And Iverson, I mean, he fought right to the bitter end, just could not get it going whatsoever. So Malachor did a great job of staying alive. Wisteria almost looked untouched last round because he was laughing a lot every time he landed stuff. But Iverson going to be taking some big chunks out of Wisteria here. Scriff going to be jumping over there to Mega Zero. Big jump onto him. And it does look like the runic barrier on top of Malachor is, oh, look at the Goomba Stomp right there. Iverson getting off some decent double 38s, but Hafu going to have to get out of that as well as Scriff. He's a heavy guy, and he just jumped on top of his head. Mega Zero has that goo. He's going to throw it down with the Wisteria ult going down as well. And oh man, and even with the Lighthouse coming out, it just did not seem to really dent this one team whatsoever. So now we're going to do a little bit of a reset. Scriff going to be trying to jump over here. Mega Zero has to be very careful. He's getting really low, lowest of the 3. And the double healer comp is trying their best to keep everyone up. Iverson going to come over here, but I mean, Scriff is looking very, very healthy. Got to get some more damage here onto Malachor. Malachor has that lockdown ready to go. Oh, right there onto Iverson. No, Scriff, you missed Iverson, but you hit Hafu, so it's all good. It doesn't matter. Iverson going to be dropping down anyway. Scriff now going to be jumping there onto Mega Zero as Wisteria and Hafu going to go head to head. But Malachor again, I mean, not really any kind of big pressure going down on top of him. And now the big defensive strikes coming out as soon as they do jump onto him as well. So Hafu going to be in that goo with Wisteria. So a little bit of misplacement there. Did not quite get as much damage as he wanted. But I mean, these two heroes, it's like watching a 1 versus 1 and then just a floating guy going back and forth. Because Mega Zero not really doing too much here with Hafu. He's going to drop because Scriff will not lose that temporary hit points. And look at that lockdown go down. So Donors by Heart taking the first of the maps, 3-1.
Yeah, first of the maps, and I think it is going to switch over to US servers. As you can see, the latencies, you know, 106, 110, and, or not 110, 101 and 120. So, man, I'm losing it a little bit. They're going to switch servers, make it more favorable for US players, and that actually does have a lot to do with this game. In fact, think about it this way. A lot of abilities are 0.2 or 0.3 seconds. 100 MS is 0.1 seconds. So,
Barbosa
for every...
the game, dude. Sorry.
What? I'm in this new one.
Barbosa.
Oh, right. So for every ability you do, you have to pretty much add 0.1 cast time to it before it will go off. And if you fake cast, well, then that's like you have to add another 0.1 second onto it. So rather than it just being like 0.02 seconds, it's 0.1 seconds. And that can make a little bit of a difference, really, especially if you're trying to conjure at the exact right time, or if you're trying to get, you know, an instant ability off. Maybe you're like 0.1 seconds too late, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's forever. Because I know when things get nerfed, like Seeker, the illusion used to be 0.2 second cast time. And it went to instant. And it's just like, oh my gosh, humongous buff. That's ridiculous. You know, everybody was just like shouting out. But for other games, it's like, oh yeah, 0.2 seconds, no problem. Yeah. 10 seconds. Okay, yeah, reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds. Then you got something big. But here it's like 0.2 seconds, humongous. You got like, yeah, reducing the cooldown by 1.5, huge uproar in the forums on something. And it's really, really intense how close these matches can get. And, latency can be a little bit of an issue when you're crossing that ocean. But that's why we have LAN events. And that's why DreamHack is going to be spectacular. Wars is already qualified. If they can get themselves over to Sweden, we're going to have a party. I mean, I'll be there. Donors by Heart is going to be there.
Yeah, rub it in.
SK Gaming, tons of other great players are just going to be nerding it out. And we're going to see the best of the best. No excuses, because it's going to be all land up. None of this public server stuff. It's going to be in the house, ready to go. And just, whew, it'll be some great times. And I'm just waiting for it, man. Couple more weeks. I'll be heading on down June 16th through the 23rd. That's when I'll be over in Sweden.
Well, before that, we're actually going to have the June 4th Grand Finals here for the BeyondGaming. So I'm actually a little bit more excited for that, because it's going to show up a little quicker, and we're going to get to see almost like a mini preview of some of the top teams of the world as they battle it out for $5,000. So.
That's true. And, I got to give props to BeyondGaming and all the sponsors. Justin TV, you've got Thermal Take and QPad for giving out prizes and making this game buff, Getting it here on JTV with 1.5K, I think it spiked at 3.7K viewers. That's good exposure. And this game is up and coming. It's rising. It's got potential. So just keep in tune. Download it. Free to play, like we've been saying all the time. And give it a shot. Get it while it's hot. Before, everybody starts coming in and rushing. You'll be like, I joined up 2 months ago because I was watching these BeyondGaming tournaments. And guess what? Now I get to pwn your face. You should have joined a little bit earlier. I told you about Bloodline Champions, and you didn't believe me. So
yeah, it's a beautiful feeling, smashing faces with the champion here. But, here we are. Map number 2 of the quarterfinals. Yeah, we're in the quarterfinals. Qualifying cup number 1, Donors by Heart and Oars. I mean, Oars is well known as the top American team right now.
Oars, yes. At least in the tournament scene, because the Belugas team, as well as Arborist, Obregon. There's a couple other U.S. teams out there, but they haven't played in any of the tournaments where it's like European server favored. So we're gonna say Oars is, just because they're the only ones that have truly tried.
Fair enough. Alright, so already you see the Chronoflex is going to be stopping some big damage coming out from everyone. But Scriff, no fear whatsoever. I do not know what's going on, but Iverson did a little bit of a quick spin, but Scriff getting hit by that Moonstone again. We did have a sleep go down on Malachor. Scriff jumping around, going to be hitting Mega Zero off to the side. Wisteria is going to be trying to jump in here as well. Nobody's going to trigger that Conjure, but Scriff taking damage. No, run out, Scriff! Oh, the female Vanguard takes forever to fall to the floor, but she is down for the count. Malachor and Wisteria, I'm not sure they're going to be able to go 2 versus 3, as Wisteria is just dropping so very quickly. Big Goo going out with the Lighthouse. Oh, that's a big double combo right there onto Wisteria, and now spin. Iverson not going to be hitting that last kill. I don't think he got that last kill. Well, one apiece. He
didn't get that last kill, but he sure did get his fill of those mace stuns and forcing Scriff to go and runs. Yeah, all right, terrible. That was bad. I tried, man. But I'm not destined to be a rapper, and that's why I'm commentating right now. Trying to do my best. Ooh, Moonstone. Good Chronoflex to make sure that Moonburst didn't get onto him. That's going to hit right as soon as the Moonstone is out. Here we go. Scriff going to, again, be the target of choice. They don't want that heroic shout. They don't want that insane heroic charge coming out as well to, get in their way and to actually kill Mega Zero. But look at that. No Moonstone. That's going to be interrupted. That Astral Beam, I should say, by a taunt. Good job right there, Scriff, keeping a level head. And he does have his heroic charge. Mega Zero is being singled out all by himself, and it looks like Malachor is going to be stuck in a little bit of goo. Hafu going to go and try and do a little bit more damage. Mega Zero up onto the side. Going to be throwing in a couple M1s to finish things off. So Battle Alch mode engaged. And look at that, Scriff trying to get onto Hafu. Heroic charge, almost max distance. Just not going to be enough. And look at that, Hafu again trying to use that Astral Beam, just not having any success. You've got Wisteria with Runic Barrier stun with the Woje, and you also have Scriff who can taunt. There's just a lot that can get in the way, and as I'm just saying that, holy smokes, we're going to be seeing Scriff and Wisteria maybe do something. Nope, not against double healer, sorry. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, it's 2-2. There's no way. There's no way. But Hafu and Mega Zero, I think they've got it pretty easy against Wisteria at this point. Astral Beam, that spacebar is down, and that is not going to happen. So GG, well played at that point. 2-0 on the American servers for the American team, Team Oars.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just saying, like,
there's no way,
it's
dude.
2 versus 2, and you're like 2 hero teams. Aren't you the king of the 2 hero teams?
Me?
Yeah. What do you run with Similar?
Similar plays Nomad, or if he feels like playing Astronomer, he plays that. He plays whatever he really wants.
I thought you were
the
king of the double healing cheese comps. That's because like you can't see that.
When I play with Foda, he plays Astronomer exclusively as well. So I mean that's when the 3 is with Pissed, double Astro Harbinger comes out. But anyways, we're going to get on to this match.
Yeah, the double hero brought it out of the fire there for Team Oars as Griff is going to be hitting some hay here with Iverson. Malachor is also back in the back, but Wisteria, he has to do a little bit of a retreat, going in a little too deep. Hafu did take some big damage. Not too sure where Hafu was actually aiming that spacebar, but Scriff now with the barrier is going to be jumping in here. He has that ultimate ready to go. He might use it for healing instead, but no, it's just going to keep going on and on. Scriff taking some damage. Oh, Iverson jumping right onto him. Another rune shield coming out. The Chronoflux not really doing so much. Oh, what was that goo doing? What was that goo doing? Scriff doesn't care. He's going to jump right over here to Mega Zero using that heroic charge of his. And now Iverson Iverson gets locked down, but we do have that lighthouse coming out from Hafu. Mega Zero is in retreat, but Scriff is able to land an axe to the back of his head, and his head went rolling. Iverson going to be dropping here very quickly as well, and that's going to leave Hafu to go 1-on-3. Now, I know Hafu's a really good druid, but there's no shapeshifting in this game, so 2-1. Scriff coming back out of that.
Yeah, there's no shape-shifting. There is no kind of humongous heals that'll save you from that one. And that goo, you might have said, well, yeah, Mega Zero, that was a bad goo. It was to split the team apart, right? Because you notice Scriff and Malachor were off on their one side. Wisteria used the Wuju, and they didn't hit it, and that was really good, but they just couldn't get enough burst damage onto Wisteria to do anything about it. That Runic Shield just so good for stopping any kind of really true burst coming on out. Mega Zero, gonna hit that Wuju from Wisteria. Moon Shadow is gonna be applied onto Wisteria. It's gonna stop, slow down his casting speed, slow him down as well, as we do have a nice Moonstone, Moonburst again onto Scriff. All of his cast times are going to be increased. Hafu now has an ult. Here it is. Let's see when they can combo. Looks like she might be able to use it right now, but she is weakened, so it's not really doing a whole lot, and they could have gotten a kill if she just waited maybe a couple more seconds and not had that 50% reduction in damage. But look at that, getting that M1. Wisteria got that little debuff for a while. Iverson still on the prowl. Malachor gonna have to be forced to space away, get away from that Moonstone, as Scriff is getting very low. Heroic Shout gonna heal him up a significant amount. Goo comes out. Scriff doesn't have much to do. And Hafu, oh no, why didn't you space and try and get that kill with your M1? That could have given, the Stoners by Heart team on the cold side a little bit of a chance to reset. Warm team's being whittled down little by little as Malachor's just sitting nice and pretty in the back. Wisteria, what's going to happen? Nice crude strike. Changing targets from Wisteria onto Scriff. Punted him by a wall. Came in. M1 afterwards. No time for a heal to get there. No time for any kind of true damage. As we are going to be seeing a 2v3 situation. Wisteria going to have that ultimate. Going to try and change targets after hitting that solar charge from Hafu. Still not going to happen. Iverson going to just crawl on back. Astral Beam used. Wisteria going to force to use that space on that. Now's the time to punish. Malachor still really not being hit. Good dodges right there, using the space at the right time. Deadly injection though. Mega Zero switching targets so wisely between throwing out the M1s and sleeps on different targets. Deadly injections. He's really, truly a good part of this team, allowing them to play at a very high level, supporting from the back end, sort of like Chip Cyan does for Team SK Gaming. Their unsung hero, the Alchemist. Hitting those sleeps, hitting those deadly injections, staying in a position where they're not getting punished to hell. So
now that brings us to 1-1 as as Donors by Heart did take the first map, and now we've taken the second map here with Oars. So that means we're gonna have to do a server switch.
Yep, and that's why we had to leave the game yet again. But they're pretty quick about this because both of these teams have done this in the past before. So not a big loss, and we are just going to be seeing server remake real quick. Iverson just waiting for an invite. Let me see if I can find Scriff. I like it.
Yeah,
know?
no, it's good fun today. I really wasn't expecting the games actually to go this long, but now that I've figured out the whole, it's a separate qualifier every weekend. That kind of makes a lot more sense in my mind. So yeah, I mean, hey guys, we're watching the qualifier round number 1. And if you don't win, hey, that's fine. Come back to qualifying round number 2. We got 4 rounds to get into these grand finals going down on June 4th here at BeyondGaming. You don't quite like these tournaments? You don't like being in the public eye? That's fine. Go on to the BeyondGaming site, make yourself a team, play in the ladder. Top 4 teams, when it comes down up to June, they're also going to be invited here to the grand final. So you play games, you're in tournaments, you get swag, you get your name out there. What's the downside? What's the downside, Cast?
What's the downside? What do you mean? What's the downside? No, there's no downside. When it comes
that's
to BLC,
the right answer.
there is no downside. I didn't even know what we were talking about, and there is no downside. So,
apparently, we're on the wrong server.
Yeah, it was U.S. Made, so turn me up. It's all on you. If I get tongue twisted, I'm gonna pass the blame.
Pass the buck. Yep.
Yeah, pass the token. And, hot potato. Why not?
It's never my fault. It's always someone else's fault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Solo matchmaking mentality right there.
And the delays for the tutorials, it's like Scriff comes on and he's like, "Hey man, we got something to announce." I can't announce what it is, but and then we talk for like 30 minutes to an hour about like strategy, and it's just like, God, I was working on that tutorial.
Yep.
And then BeyondGaming guys come on. I'm just like, all right, yeah, let's talk about the details for tomorrow. I get talking with Aaron, and then we start talking about other esports and Street Fighter, and then it's like conversation call, an hour 15 minutes. It's like, what? This is supposed to be like a 10-minute call. But anyways.
No, there's a lot to do here these days in the esports scene, and BeyondGaming making a good footprint here, which is what we're watching. So this is map number 3 of the quarterfinal matchup between Oars and Donors by Heart. Scary stuff, because we got the world's best Vanguard coming out here, and the world's best Ravener, Iverson, the guy that's been around forever and ever. But Wisteria, no stranger to this game as well, and Malachor just doing a great job keeping himself more alive than dead at this point. But Iverson going to be jumping right in there. Wisteria goes right through him with that Woji, or Waji. No, Woji? Whatever. But yeah, right now they're going to go head to head. Yeah, Woji, Waji, Wuju. That's the 3 W's of the game. But Iverson jumping right onto Wisteria as well. Big damage going down. Oh, look at that punt. Malachor getting thrown everywhere, but that goo from the gold team not going to be hitting too many people, probably because of that punt. So a little bit of miscommunication right there, but Malachor is going to jump out as well. Scriff is going to be trying his best here, but Iverson is just looking so deadly right now. Look at all those texts and words coming up. Iverson not going to give up at all. He's going to jump in here. Lots of damage going down. Malachor sticking there with Wisteria. Scriff is now actually bunching up with them. Gets that. Oh, look at that Q. Look at that Q. Tasty Q right there. Hafu off to the side. Going to be trying to stay alive as well. Cannot get too cornered here, but Iverson going to be taking her place instead. Lots of big heals coming out there, but these guys just do not want to die. It's looking very good, though, for Oars. Oh, another big. Oh, another beautiful ultimate. Iverson bringing that to the brink.
Just as you say that, you're just like, and these guys don't want to die. Goomba stomp, and it's just like, dun, 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 dun. They need those kind of sound bites for BLC. It's just like, if you get Goomba stomp, it should play the Mario, just like fail music. But yeah, I mean, great combos of ultimates. Hafu playing very offensive with Iverson, which is good because that debuff from the M1, the burst 25 damage, is huge. And Mega Zero, again, unsung hero in the back, hitting those sleeps, getting those clarities, and just keeping himself in a position where he's not getting too capitalized on. Iverson can then do his job. Hafu just coming up with some extra burst heals to help Iverson out. And look at this, boom, right there. Look at Wisteria. He's now down to about 55% HP because Hafu just spaced in, got that M1. Iverson was also throwing some stuff out. And a nice sleep on the Malachor. No heals coming out for Scriff or Wisteria. Looks like we're going to see Mega Zero throw down a goo. Not the best placement ever. Hafu looking like he's going to line the Astral Beam up. Going to hit Wisteria and Iverson at the same time. So, does damage and healing depending on which person you're hitting. Iverson going to try to get on to Malachor. Scriff has the ultimate. Lockdown goes out. It's going to be on Hafu. Hafu going to get hit for 70 damage. 23 right afterwards. Scriff not going to trigger that trance, predicting Hafu is going to do that, so the mind games in favor of Scriff at that point. That turned the tide of the battle. Double ultimates definitely can do that when used in conjunction of one another. as we are going to see a minor reset. Both teams sort of playing a little pokey poke, as they are going to now get back into the middle of the fight. All heals, all temporary HP has been, commenced and onto everybody possible. Malcor going to space by Mega Zero. Chrono Flex making sure that no sleep or deadly injection comes out. Another Astral Beam, and Malcor going to be hit by that full duration, as they are CCing Wisteria and Script. Completely whiffed Heroic Charge. Iverson just jumped out of the way at the last second and just walked off to the side. So that is actually a huge turning point for this cold team, Team Ors. They might actually have a chance at this point, but oh man, I don't know. Hafu's looking pretty desperate for some heals, as well as Iverson, one hit from death. Mega Zero going to be left all by himself. Heroic Charge can't happen. Boom, across the map, just going to hit the AoE. Iverson just still alive, barely. Hafu somehow making it out. EX space, good job. Script going to keep laying on that pressure. This round is going to go into Fog, ladies and gentlemen. High-level matches rarely do that, and it is an honor to see this kind of competition, as it is very close at this point. Mega Zero now locked into the corner. Nice Moonstone for a little bit of control. Nice job by Iverson, not going to hit that Wuju. Lockdown comes out. Hafu going to be hit. That's going to be insane damage, but no, gets that solar charge. Can he get on out? Yes, she does. And oh my goodness, I say he because, well, it's Astronomer, and that's a primarily male character. And holy smokes, this could go down to Fog. It is going to be in the Warm team's advantage, as they do have more real health. If you look at the top of the screen, Mega Zero just trying to stay on, off into the top of the corner. Malcor just getting on down. Goomba Stomp! That's it. 3-2, but it is not over yet. Hafu could be going down. Script going to be eating some damage. No, Hafu is not going to try and get that M1 off. Now the knockdown, or the Crude Strike comes out. Script taking a little bit of damage, and this turned around completely. Ladies and gentlemen, excellent round. Hopefully this is all being recorded on Justin TV. Amazing survivability, and wow. Woo. Nerd blood everywhere. I want to scream and just shake my monitor. But I know that would not allow me to cast any more games, so I'm gonna try and control it all in.
Wow, that was props, man. That was top two teams here, just going head to head, coming down to the Fog. When Script got punted into the Fog there by Iverson, I was like, oh no. Wow. All right, so trying to get over the shock of that last game. If we can have Ors take this third round, that means they're going to be moving on here, and Donors by Heart will say goodnight for another day. So right now, big stress coming down onto the Team Ors, as they really want this. Iverson taking damage, has that stomp, guts both of the DPS teammates here. Malcor came out of that unscathed, but look at Iverson, already lost so much of his true hit points. Mega Zero now taking a lot of damage, but Scrib is going to be looking at the hit point bars here are just nominally very much in favor right now of Donors by Heart. Look at that, just goes up and down. They're in the top. Mega Zero is still taking a lot of damage, has that goo ready. Is he going to throw it out? We got the Lighthouse coming out as well, but locked down onto Hafu. There's the goo. It's going to be onto Wisteria. Malcor got out of that, no problem. Iverson, no, I don't know. He punted out Script, could have left him there a few seconds longer. Iverson still not really looking that healthy at all. Mega Zero is still left to do 2-on-1, but he's going to be okay with that Clarity Potion. Script jumping over here, wants to jump on the Iverson bandwagon. Iverson's still alive somehow. Another stomp, jumps onto them, but only does 19 damage a shot. Not exactly the biggest numbers that he was hoping for, but now Iverson looks a little separated. Mega Zero going to be throwing out those heals. The barrier goes down on Iverson as well. Wisteria jumping over, going to get caught with that spin, going to be taking some big damage. Oh yes, Malcor getting punted out, but Scriff, he has that Heroic Charge ready. What's he going to do with it? Is he going to throw it out? Is he going to be using it for healing? Are we going to be seeing a combo? Yes, a big combo down onto Hafu with the lockdown. And that is putting now Donors by Heart in a very good position. Iverson's been at sliver health a long time. Another sudden death match coming out. I'm not too sure Iverson and Mega Zero are going to be able to pull this one out. The health bars are just too much in favor of them, and it's just slivering down. There goes Mega Zero finally going down, and Iverson running for the hills. Oh, big comeback right there for Donors by Heart. That's what they need for their mentality right now.
You know, I thought they were going to have a huge morale shock after that last round, but you know what? They are very good players. I would curse on the stream, but I know that's not. I was about to say they're freaking crazy something players, but they don't get phased by that, and they actually keep it locked in, and they keep their play solid. They know what they did, and they are going to improve on it, and that's what happened that last round. So good job by them to keep it, nice and easy. Try and keep that damage up. Scriff already has the ultimate. M1 War with Iverson. Looks like Malachor has nowhere near his ultimate, so I think Scriff is just probably going to use a shout or something like that. Make sure that he stays alive. 38 damage on to Malachor. He is slowed a little bit. Now he's down to 50% HP. Blinded. Malachor has no idea what he's doing, and Hafu, in the meantime, going to try and get that Moonburst. Missed it, and oh shoot. Heroic or Battle Shout is going to be used. Not going to really do a whole lot. Double heals coming out onto Iverson as he jumped in way too aggressive. And I think this could be a turnaround point for the Worm team. Scriff still does have his ultimate. Malachor's about to build his. At this point, we'll see what happens as, look at this, Malachor went on out. But Hafu using the EX space, so her spacebar came right back up really quickly and still not able to do a whole lot on a Malachor. Boom, there it is. Heroic charge comes and boom, snipe. Nice job by Scriff at that point. Can they get the counter kill on Malachor? Can they? No, he is just going to heal up. I think he might have used EX Mantra or just straight up healing like a pro. Just right to click or right mouse button click. And whew, this Donors by Heart team looking very, very strong at this point. Scriff got that meter very early. They didn't even do the lockdown to Heroic Charge combo. It was just Scriff getting back hits and Scriff really doing a nice job throwing out his taunts, peeling for Malachor, getting those war axes, making sure that Iverson can't use his M1 or an M2 when he does that little war axe that you just saw him throw right there. And that's really locking down the team, and that's why he's being highlighted right now. 930 damage. You don't see many Vanguards do this. 11.4 TPS. When I play Vanguard, it's like 3.5 TPS. It's awful. But Scriff is the Vanguard S. And he knows that Bloodline in and out, played it even when it got nerfed to nothing, nerfed to the ground. But he stayed true. It got buffed back up again. And he is rocking it so hard for court.
It's very hard to find anyone even comparable to that with that Vanguard. And look at him, no fear, jumping right in here. Mega Zero's his target. Wisteria trying to keep the other ones off his back, but Malachor also still looking very good up there. Took a little bit of shots. Scriff already has that meter ready to go again. I don't think we're going to be waiting for that the Malachor one, so we're probably going to see a battle shout coming out, or a jump, or an EX intercept. Who knows? But Wisteria is looking really hard right now. Oh, Hafu actually with the extra burst going to be jumping down onto him. So Wisteria down, Malachor and Scriff. Let's see if they can take this 2v3. They're fighting for their lives here in this qualifying round because they really want to get to that $5,000 prize pool. They really want to get to these finals, and this is the moment of truth. If they can't bring this back out, then they are going to be done. The health bars, however, are looking very much like the opposite of the last round. Very big on the blue, very small here on the warm. Malachor doing a great job keeping himself up, but look at Iverson, pro at keeping them just so separated right now. Now they're trying to collapse a little bit more. Scriff coming back up, the Chronoflux going down, but these in onto Malachor. Iverson doing a great job of controlling him, keeping him in his place. Scriff has himself another charge, but I don't think he's going to get to use it. Nope.
No. No. They're going to fall down. And, good job right there. GG, well played, and great sportsmanship by everybody all around. I love it. Huge numbers. Look at the TPS. 12.1, 11.3, and 9.1. These guys are not just noobs, right? I mean, usually in a noob game, you see somebody that has ridiculous TPS. But these guys, they're hitting everything. They're playing the mind games, and I can't announce every one of them, where it's just like, oh, he used Reflect, or he didn't use Reflect because he was thinking Hafu was going to do this and, attack, and that would have stunned. And, all these mechanics go on so fast. And they're playing all these mind games, hitting their abilities, peeling, doing insane damage, and it's really action-packed. I don't know if some of the viewers came here from my stream earlier when we were watching some new players play.